In this session, we are going to look at how to map your O43, how to map your chart of accounts with your O43 report. So we are going to map every single individual account with our O43 report according to our O43 entries. Okay, so when a school initially onboards, what we ask for is the O43 template as well as the chart of accounts. And then we firstly import the chart of accounts as you saw in the previous video. And then we actually map the chart of accounts with the O43 report. So firstly, the most important document in this case, after the chart of accounts, of course, is the O43 report. So this is the O43 template that we get from the schools. Sometimes it can be more complex than this, but this is just a simple O43 template and O43 report. If you have more entries, you create them the same way we're going to do it now. All right, so firstly, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull an O43 report in the system. We go to school and WCED O43. I will pull this report, and this is just to show you exactly what the report looks like before you actually create the entries and map them and everything. So here is our report. As you can see, the top part is exactly the same. So we actually have to start from here, where it says income, because we don't have this in the system. Okay, net income is already here, so we don't have to put that. All right, so let's start by creating our entries. We go into school, WCED O43 entries. And now we have our entries open. And as you can see, this income that is here, it's already populated by the system. There's even little orange circles here indicating it. So we basically now have to tell the system what is the order. Is it income first or expenses? So let's look at our template and we can see it's income first and then it's expenses. So income is the first one. I will basically just double click on income, and where it says order, I will say 1 and save and close. Now I will start creating my entries underneath income. So I will start by creating net school fees. Net school fees, as I can see, is a group. I'm saying it's a group because let's look at this first part. Okay, as you can see, net school fees is more to your left, and then you have current school fees, which is more to your right. So there's like a space in between. And this space in between indicates to me that net school fees is a group under income, which has current school fees as a sub-account. And I can also see this by these boxes over here. So this whole box, everything here, is the box for income. Then you have this whole box, which is a box for net school fees. So I can see that current school fees is inside net school fees. All right, now let's create this in the system. We will start by creating net school fees. We will go in order. I can type it out, but I'm just going to copy it using Control-C on my keyboard. And I'm going to go to the system. We said it's a group under income. So I will click on income just once, and I will click on create group. And I will paste using Control-V on my keyboard. I'll remove any spaces that are there in the beginning. And I will remove this symbol that comes when you paste from Excel. And I'm going to put the order. That was 1, so this is 2. Make sure your parent account is correct, and you can save and close. Then I'm going to go to the next one, current school fees. And I said that current school fees is a sub-account underneath net school fees. I can see it by the boxes, and I can see it by the space in the beginning. So I'm going to Control-C it again, which is copy it. And I will click on net school fees, which is the parent account for current school fees once, and I will click on create. Now I clicked on create because I'm not creating a group, I am creating an entry. So here I will paste it using Control-V. I will remove this symbol and I will remove this space over here. And make sure my parent account is correct. The order was 2 and now this one is 3. All right, then let's go to the next one. which is WCED transfer payments. Now, I can also see that WCED is transfer payment is a group because I can see that you have these sub accounts underneath WCD, which is also represented by this box. So this one is for WCD, and then you have like a box over here grouping all of these accounts together, and it stops here. As you can see, the line stops there. So this indicates to me that WCED transfer payments is a group. So I'm going to also, and it's a group that's not under net school fees, but it's under income because it's in the same line as net school fees. So I'm also going to copy that, and I'm going to go into the system, click on income once, and create group, and I will paste it. Remove the symbols, check if there's any spaces in the beginning. Nope. The order is 4. That will be 4. And I'm going to check if my parent account is correct. Yes, it's income, so it's correct. And I'll save and close. Then I'm going to look at the next one, which is norms and standards. As I said before, norms and standards is a sub-account under WCED transfer payments. So I'm going to click on norms and standards, copy it, and I'm going to go into the system and I'm going to click on WCED transfer payments once and create. I will paste it, remove all the spaces and the symbols, check if my parent account is correct, and follow the order 4. When you're doing this, sometimes this comes here and it blocks the order. You can always just press and hold to drag it around so you can see the order. 5. And you save and close. Okay, I'm going to do the same with the next sub accounts. It's just copy, click on WCD transfer payment once and create, paste it, remove all the extras, and it's 6. I'm going to do the same with the next one, copy it, WCD transfer payment, create, remove the extras, check parent account if it's correct, and this is 7. And municipal services, back into the system, WCD transfer payments once, create, paste it. When you're pasting, make sure you use Control V and Control C to copy, Control V to paste, because then you have to install something in Chrome. I don't really understand how it works, but you have to install something. So it's better just to use the shortcuts. And then 8. The next one is circular 11.7 school. Let's just wait a little bit. My internet seems to be slow. Okay. And WCD transfer payments, create, remove the extras, account type correct, sorry, parent account type, parent account correct, order 9. Okay. And then we have completed WCD transfer payments. And now we go into other income. Usually, if you're a primary school, you have other WCD transfer payments, you have grade R salaries, and so on. But as I said before, I am taking an example of a common thing that all schools have, and therefore I created this template. You will, of course, have more entries, but for the purpose of this demo, I created a simple template where I can explain something that most schools have in common. Okay, so now let's look at other income. As you can see, other income is in the same line. I don't know if I could say line, but it begins in the same way as net school fees, WC transfer payments, yeah, and other income. It's all to the left. Now, the other income, I think in this case, many people would say that other income is a group under income, but that is not correct. Other income is an entry, or I would say an account, an independent entry or an independent account under other income. As you can see, there is nothing underneath it, and there is no box indicating that this is a parent account. So what we're going to do, we're going to create an entry, an individual entry under income. I'm going to also copy it, I'm going to click on income just once, and I'm going to create. This will be my other income, remove all the extras, make sure my parent account is correct, and my order is going to be 10. Okay, so let me just check. I am done with every entry in my income. It should end in this box here. All right, so now let's check this in the system. We have net school fees, WCED transfer payments, and other income. They're all in the same line, so I'm happy with that. I can see net school fees is a group and WCED transfer payment is a group. In the same line, I'm happy with that, but other income is an entry or an individual entry, independent entry under income. Okay, so I'm fine with that. All of them have orders. And now what I'm going to do is income is first and then comes expenses. So because my other income was 10, I will open the expenses that is already populated by the system, and this will be 11. And I will save and close. So as you can see, it moved completely to the bottom. And now I can start creating my expense entries and accounts and so on. Here, I won't do the expenses now in the demo. You can try to do it on your own. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to explain to you just what is a group, what is an entry, what is an independent entry, what is a sub account, etc. Okay, so LTSM is the same thing as other income. As you can see, it's more to the left and it's under expenditure. You can also see the box indicating there is nothing underneath it. So this is an individual and independent entry under expenses. Then you have local purchases. It's in the same format as LTSM, a bit more to your left, and it has a box over here which indicates that local purchases is a group. It is a group under expenses. And then you have stationery, cleaning material, and other, which are entries in this group. All right. So this is just basically an explanation for you to understand what is what. Okay. So now I'm going to continue in this video to show you how we're going to map PO43 with the accounts. So to do that, I usually pull out how I have it here. I pull out the, the chart of accounts, and I ask the schools to provide me with this extra column where they will help me understand what needs to be mapped to what. Okay, so I have here current school fees, norms and standards. This was not done by me. This was all done by the school because each school is different and the schools they can map their accounts to whatever they want. So it's important for the school to do this step. I can try to help with my experience and see if I feel like an account shouldn't be mapped to one entry, I will of course tell the school that I don't think it should be like that because I have examples of a few schools who don't do it like that, and then the school will check it with the department and come back to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how we're going to map the 43 entries with our accounts. And this is the important document that we need that the school provides me with. All right, so now I'm going to go into the system and let's just map the income side. We'll map the expenses later on your own. So I'm going to close everything and go back to my home page, and I'm going to go to accounting, chart of accounts. Here, I'm going to open up all my parent accounts for the income side. That's it. And I want to start mapping. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to check what's mapped first. I have current school fees, which is mapped to school fee income. So I'm going to search in the system school fee income, which is here, and I want to map that to current school fees. So I will double click. I will double click, and where it says WCED 043 entry, this will be current school fees. And I save and close, and that's it. You have here current school fees. So I'm done with net school fees. I can close it. Then I will start mapping my WCED income. Come here to my file. I will actually just mark this so I know I've done that. Then norms and standards, that's WCED subsidies. So I'm going to go in the system, search for WCED subsidies. Here it is. Double click, and this was norms and standards. Save and close. Mark it as done. Then I have school fees, which goes to school fees. No fee. I will double click. School fee, no fee. Save and close. Mark it as done. Day-to-day maintenance goes to day-to-day maintenance. I will double click. Day-to-day maintenance. Okay. Then I'm going to mark that as done. Go to the next one, municipal services, which is municipal services. Municipal services. Save and close. Okay, so I'm done with WCED income. You can see my entries over here, and I'll close this. Now I'm going to have a look at my other income. This is all other income up to here. I can see that it's all mapped to other income, so I'm just going to go do that quickly. I'll go in the system, open each one of them, and select other income. Close it. Same thing here. Other income. Other income. Okay. And my last account, COVID income, is also other income. Okay, so you can see now that all these accounts are mapped to other income. Some schools tend to ask me, why don't we just map the other income account group to other income? And then they think that it'll automatically be mapped to the 043 like that. Unfortunately, we cannot do that. We cannot map account groups to the 043 entries. It's the same way as we cannot map 043 groups to sub-accounts in the chart of accounts. So this is how we do the mapping. You can try to do the expenses and create the expenses entries and map them to the 043 on your own. But this is basically how I import the 043 entries and I map them to the 043, to the chart of accounts. As I said, it can be a little bit more complex than this. This is just a simple example that I found to show you, but there are situations where you have more accounts, more entries, and it's a very long list, but it's really nothing much. You do it the same exact way. It's just that it's a lot of work, while this one was much easier and quick.